Good evening and welcome to the European Sprint Series, brought to you live from the classic Suzuka circuit, broadcast live on the Total Sim Sport YouTube channel and on iRacing Simulator, the world's premier simulator. As always, I am James Parfit and I'll be joined in the box this evening by Seb Bosher-Williams, who's going to be joining me shortly. But let's have a quick chat about the track. Well, it's Suzuka. 3.6 miles, 5.8 kilometers of corners such as Degner 1, Degner 2, 130R, the Dunlop corner, and of course the hairpin. What more could you ask for tonight on the European Sprint Series race of the evening of week 8 from Suzuka? It's going to be an absolutely epic one, and after last week's epic battle in Road America, we cannot ask for a more exciting race this evening. So let's bring in Seb to have a chat with us. Seb, welcome in.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and good evening to everybody watching.
Yeah, Seb, Suzuka this week. There's not really a whole bunch we can say about Suzuka. It's an epic track. It's seen the sight of some absolutely incredible racing. And I think we're going to be in for it another again tonight, as we got just over 5 minutes of qualifying remaining.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, it's such an amazing track. It's one of my favourites. I love the racing here. It's so easy to race, and it just lends itself so well to multi-class racing. So I think we're in for a real treat tonight. Just looking at everybody sort of starting to set their lap times at the moment. I think I'm jealous of the LMP1 drivers at the moment. This track at an LMP1 is just sublime. The first sector is unlike anything that you can really drive in iRacing. The management between the energy and the energy recovery and how you have to drive it, it always brings a smile to my face when I drive it.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, we've got quite a short LMP1 field this week. We've only got 6 cars, and we also haven't got Jan Kurbs, who we're used to seeing in the LMP1. Now, he won by 32 seconds last week, after Simon Cowlotz, who is here tonight, hit the outside curb on turn 1 at Road America, and unfortunately there was a one-way ticket to the right-hand barrier. So I think tonight we've got the likes of Jake Carey, Simon Cowlotz, and Neil and Jim DeBacker. Now the brothers are in the same house. Absolutely incredible drivers. We're used to seeing them here on European Sprint Series on the ESS every Thursday night. I think, though, that with the larger LMP2 field, do you think this evening, you know, the action in LMP1 could be a little bit scarce? Because once these guys kind of get away, they kind of clear and away, Seb. Do you know what I mean? They are out in front and gone. I'm just worried tonight that we're going to see most of the action through the LMP2s.
I think that's certainly. I think that's certainly how it will play out. At least I agree with you. I think that's how it is going to play out. Yeah, the only 6 LMP1s, but LMP1 can always surprise you with how you can have sort of 2 drivers that are really close together, that sort of know each other, because the LMP1 community is quite small these days, and so you really like get to know each other, and so you might have some people knowing each other, knowing sort of their racing styles and being able to race with them. So that would be interesting, but I think you're right. I think LMP2 is going to be much more interesting. 13 cars in LMP2 tonight, so that's going to be hectic, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we've got the normal protagonists of Mr. Stuart Bickley, Richard Sidnar, Hughes Baumeister, Dylan Freckington. And I just think it's going to be an absolutely outstanding race tonight. Now, one of the surprises we've got is obviously Michael Romanidis. Now, we haven't seen him before. He's sitting at about 8K. Okay, so, you know, he's no slouch, let's be real. But on their day, though, any one of these LMP2 drivers can win this, because it doesn't take much to unfortunately have an off in an LMP2, does it? Because you're looking behind for the LMP1s, you're looking in front for the GTEs, and at some point it can all just go wrong.
Oh, certainly, and not to mention that the LMP2 is a really difficult car to drive on the limit. You know, it's very easy to lock the fronts, very easy to lock the rears, and you're in the wall. It's very easy. So yeah, massive respect to the LMP2 drivers tonight.
Right, Seb, the grid is up. Why don't you run us through the grid for tonight's race?
Will do indeed. So Neil DeBacker is your pole position leader in LMP1, with Simon in 2nd place. Jim DeBacker is in 3rd place, 2/10 off. Jake Carey starts 4th. Alongside him, or on the 3rd row even, Dominic Engelit is in 5th place. Fabio Cambelli is 6th. Your pole position leader, your pole position sitter in LMP2 is Michael Romanidis, the driver we were just talking about. Paolo Guidi is in 2nd, Claudio Greco 3rd, Stuart Bickley 4th, Christian Piera 5th, Richard Simoner in 6th, Duke Braumeister in 7th, Dylan is in 8th place with Fabio in 9th, Nick is 10th, Alexander 11th, James Upton is in 12th, and David Graybill rounds out your LMP2 field. In the GTE field, we've got Jonas Wise, pole position, he's pole position in the class, with Jorge right next to him in 2nd place. Roman is 3rd with Mads Jensen in 4th. Mateo is 5th with Damian Gonzalez in 6th. Corey starts 7 alongside Jerome Charvet in 8th place. Diogo is 9th with Marco Rissi in 10th alongside him. In 11th, you've got Thomas Diida, 12th Antoine, and rounding out your grid is Mikel Edizi. And that is a great field.
It's one of them fields that you just kind of drool over. As you can see, guys, we are starting down near, basically just coming off before the last chicane, okay, before Casio Triangle. We're heading down that long run down just on the kink on the left-hand side. Now, we're used to the gap that's being left on the LMP2s. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Welcome, everybody in chat. Ollie Cole, Patrick Faulkner, Andrew Jones is here as well. Welcome. Chris Rowland's talking, and he should actually be racing. Hughes Baumeister is obviously on the race now, but he joined us, as he always does, beforehand. So, guys, this is going to be one of them races where you're going to want to get a drink, grab some popcorn, sit back and enjoy the next hour of the European Sprint Series live from Suzuka, as we see the LMP1s coming around Casio Triangle, and then we're going to be off the Jonathan McLaughlin. Welcome in. So we're going to be there. There goes the pace car. Neil DeBacker has taken a run already. He's out in front. Simon Cowlotz is 2nd. Neil's in 1st. down into turn one. There's going to be no braking down for these guys. They're just going to be down full throttle, hard on the brakes now, changing down the gears. Neil DeBacker's got away. In the LMP2s, we've got Michael Romanidis. Richard Simnar is sitting in 6th place. Fabio Bussetti is in 9th. James Upton in 12th and David Graybell in 13th. In the GTE, Jonas Weiss has got a jump. Roman Verdolivo is in 2nd. Jorge Diaz in 3rd. Jerome Charvet, our sole 4th. He's Ford. He's been a Ford all the time. Does an absolute stellar job. There's an off track there. We have to keep an eye on who that was. Matt Jensen is in that battle as well, and so is Jorge Felipe Diaz. I do wonder if it was Diaz that's gone off track. A fairly clean start, Seb. Not going to lie, for this track. I thought it was going to be a bit more Merrick.
Yeah, certainly, really good start, especially from both the prototype fields. A little bit messy in the GTE fields, but yeah, certainly not as much as I was expecting. Really tricky braking zone into turn one here. So difficult to make sure you don't lock the rears or spin. So really impressed, and yeah, let's see how this first lap develops. Looks like we've got a little bit of a battle in the lower end of the LMP1 field.
Yeah, we've got Jake Carey and Dominic Englick here, and Fabio Chiambella. He's got the jump on Jake Carey and Dominic. He's up 2 already. And there's Simon Cowlotz behind Neil DeBacker. Now, these two guys are no strangers to each other. Neither is Jim. Okay, so do not count out Jim DeBacker. He is absolutely incredible with his brother Neil. These guys will definitely be making it difficult for Simon Cowlotz. Dylan Freckleton, not your normal line round that corner as he comes into Casio Triangle, car number 10 there. Up the back of Jus Baumeister, who's up the back of Simnar, who's up the back of Bickley. And it's all a bit, but they're out in front now, clearing off down the road with a 1.14 second gap. Here's Michael Romanidis, 8K driver this evening, absolutely outstanding. Doesn't mean he's going to win, though. As we've learned, Seb, iRating doesn't mean a lot in multi-class, does it? Because one slip from a GTE and you're in the back.
Oh, certainly, and you know, you can have the highest I rating in the world, but if you don't have the sense and the ability to predict when you're going to be overtaken or when you need to overtake a car, it can all go wrong. So yeah, I rating really does not matter that much at the moment. He's already got a 1.2 second gap though. I mean, that's mighty impressive. So we'll be really interesting to see how Romanidis tackles the traffic and the first time around. Still a few more laps to go until the LMP2s will face the GTEs for the first time.
Yeah, as I say, he's a bit of a new one to us. Is Michael Romanidis. Not really seen him before in the top split on a Thursday. So it's going to be outstanding to see what he can do. But we've got Neil DeBacker being hunted down by Simon Cowlott, 0.28. He's gone out to 3-1, so the gap's going the other way. That could purely be on the boost management. As we know with the LMP1s, they do have boosts on them. And at the moment, these guys are all in Audis as well. So they're all running at the same point. So it's pretty much a dead field. And I think, to be fair, with the skills of Neil and Jim, Simon's going to have his work cut out. And has definitely got to be looking at trying to capitalise if there's any mistakes for Neil DeBacker. If, Seb, you could put your money on a corner and say, that's where we're going to see most overtakes tonight. That's what's going to happen. Where would you be looking at?
I think the final chicane, the chicane right after 130R, you've got that long rung up from Spoon, 130R, which is flat for all drivers here tonight, and then you've got the deep braking zone. So I think that's where we're going to see most overtaking. Turn one's also a pretty good overtaking spot as well, but I think we'll see a lot into the last chicane. What was interesting is I've just had a very quick look at the top speed differences from both Neil and Simon, our leaders in LMP1, and Neil is 4 kilometers an hour quicker at the moment according to my software. So that means, and he's not in slipstream, so I think he's running just that little bit less downforce, which is really helping on the straights at the moment.
Yeah, Jake Carey there, Ollie Cole. What happened to Jake? He's dropped quite a few. So we're not quite sure. We'll have to have a look and see if he was involved in an incident. We've got Charvet trying to get up the inside of Corey McLean, going down into turn one before that run up in through the S curves there. Jerome Charvet, our sole Ford. Absolutely incredible. Now, it has been mentioned that the Ford hasn't been too tasty on his tyres, but this is what happened to Jake Carey. This is turn one, and that's how we said it can be so difficult in the LMP1s going into that turn one. And that's how easy it is. It's, you know, really quite a treacherous corner, as we've got Stuart Bickley being hounded by his friend, his counterpart, his contretemps, Mr. Stuart Bickley, Apart from Richard Simnar, the plotter himself is really putting on a show this evening. He's currently in 6th place, chasing down Bickley as we stay on board with Richard Simnar going down. There you go, through 130 down into the Casio Triangle. Is he going to look at making that move? He's going to be hard on the brakes, rolling seconds, quick down the first. And off he goes again. Absolutely incredible racing from Mr. Richard Simnar and Stuart Bickley. 54 minutes remaining. Neil de Backer has still got Simon Cowlotz. And I mean, Simon Cowlotz is very, very close. You can literally throw a blanket, 0.3 of a second as they come down into the hairpin now. All these cars, Seb, right? People, you know, we have explained to the people every Thursday, look, how difficult it is in multi-class. Just, you know, you've done multi-class racing. Just tell us what are the main things we're looking out for. If I was new to the broadcast and I wasn't looking, I've never been on multi-racing before, what could you tell us about multi-class racing? What are the dangers?
The dangers are that you've got 3 independent races happening all on the same track. You've got 3 leaders, you've got 3 people chasing down the leaders, so everybody's got an invested interest in their own race, and at some point, because each class is faster than the other, you'll meet at some point. So then you've got 3 different races, all trying to have their own race, trying to keep a gap to somebody in their own class ahead, but you're trying to get past slower traffic, and you could just get this cluster of cars that all have their own interests, and so they're not really thinking about, you know, being safe in traffic with you. They're trying to keep sort of trying to race the driver ahead in their own class. So you really have to be safe. You have to almost switch off that racer's part of your brain, especially as we see Neil de Backer through the S's here. Just have to go, I'm not going to be able to get past this driver. There's no way I can. I'm going to lose time to the guy behind, but I'm just going to have to because it's not safe to do. And it's so difficult, especially for the LMP1s here, the quickest class, because they're quicker than everybody on the track. The LMP2 is a little bit different. They're going to be lapped by the LMP1, so the LMP1s will be getting past them, so you've actually then got to watch in your mirrors and think about if you're going to go for an overtake. Talking of an overtake, here's one into the hairpin. Oh, very close there, but...
Simon Cowlotz trying to send it around the outside of Neil de Backer. I can guarantee that that's not going to work. Neil is too wily for that. As we see, we're coming up onto lap 5 now, and we've got the LMP1s coming into the GTE field. This is going to be interesting to see. Now, Simon Cowlotz has got a bit of a mission more than Neil, really, here, Seb, because he's got to try and stay with Neil when Neil makes moves on the GTEs, hasn't he? If he can't get through, he's going to lose time. So, really, Neil's relying on them catching traffic at a point where Simon can't follow him through, because otherwise, he's going to have Simon... Point taken there, live on screen, as Simon can't clear that GTE.
Certainly, yeah, and it's certainly good for Neil. He needs to be able to overtake cars where Simon can't, but it also works the other way, is that, oh, and there's a LMP2 off there.
James Upton is in the wall. What happened to James? We're coming around Dunlop. I can guarantee going down into Degner 1, hits the inside curb. Off goes that LMP2, no way ticket. You're not stopping that, son. Unfortunately, that could be your race over this evening. That's such a treacherous corner in Degner 1 because, Seb, we've seen it there. If he hits that inside curb or takes too much of it, it's game over.
It certainly is. It's such a difficult corner, Degner. Many of the GTEs will struggle to hit that curb, so the LMP2s have got no chance, and that gravel trap is so deadly, and it's very, very rare that you see somebody survive, as we see some.
Sorry, I've just seen Simon Chiambella there, just literally trying to make the move. I believe that's actually Dominic Englick, is Fabio Chiambella, yeah, made that move on that GTE coming into Degner 2, and I thought it was just going to be game over. Because that's the nature, isn't it, of these drivers? They are constantly aggressive, even when they're not needing to be aggressive, if you get what I mean. They're trying to constantly stay with the cars in front. But they've got the wonderful GTEs. Oh, I want to see what happened with that last one we were on. Jake Carey making moves. But it's so tight, Seb. We've still done these, you know, we've still got 50 minutes.
Exactly. I'm kind of surprised, actually, at how quick the LMP1s have caught the GTEs, just for, oh, there's almost 3 wide there, and just proving the point there from Jake Carey that you really have to push, and these drivers really do want to push as much as they can and make moves to get through the traffic. And from an LMP1 perspective, you're just really annoyed sometimes at how slow these GT cars are. When these GT drivers are absolutely on the limit, you know, there is no doubt that they are not pushing every last inch of the car that they can to the limit. So, but the LMP1s, they just, if you're in an LMP1, it just feels so slow, and you're just willing them to go quicker. So, it's a really interesting dynamic, and that's why I certainly love multi-class racing, and I think a lot of people do, because it just adds so much more dimensions to racing, and it's really interesting actually to see the different drivers, and especially in the LMP1 and LMP2 fields, that how they can get through traffic. Neil de Backer has gained a few tenths actually on Cowlitz there, so proving that I think he's a little bit better in traffic. Saying that, the gap dropped to 2 tenths as I was talking.
Yeah. It's one of them things. So don't worry, we've all done it. I've called Zone and thought they were further apart, and they were right next to each other. So, it happens. But there was Neil de Backer, I think, coming through that traffic, got his gap out to about 1.2 seconds. And then as these guys seem to have cleared that GTE traffic and got clear track in front of them, the next car in front is James Upton, car number 13. He's coming into Casio Triangle right now. So that's going to be the next car in front for them guys. But I think that's the thing. Simon Cowlitz, we know is a quick driver. He has been exceptionally quick all the way through the season. Neil's also quick. So I think that battle will carry on for the next 48 minutes as we see Antoine Quale there going into Degner 2, taking the grass on the outside, hitting the curb, holding the brakes. Well done to you, sir. Manages to clear everybody at the moment. Oh, yep, no dangers coming back on track there from Ule. So that's absolutely incredible. But it is such a tricky track, this. The catching traffic in the S's is going to be different to catching them on the backside of the circuit down, as you say, down 1 through 130R.
Exactly. I think that if you're in traffic, as we have a look here, so this is Jim de Backer. What's he going to do here? Oh, he's touched the grass. Oh, that's disaster for Jim. So he's lost. I think he's actually going to lose a position. No, not.
No, Fabio Gilbert can't get through, can he? Not yet, anyway.
Disaster for Jim there. So yeah, just touching the grass, just proving our point here about how difficult it is to drive. But yeah, if you're catching a car in the S section, if you're an LMP1, actually if you're any class, it's really difficult to overtake. And from the GTE's perspective, it's really scary when you've got an LMP1 behind you, because they're going to be wanting to try and get past you, because they're losing so much time. We're talking seconds just in that first sector alone. But you sometimes you have to sort of like drift over to the middle of the track sometimes and say, not yet. You just got to wait. I promise it's safer. So really interesting dynamics in multi-class racing, and you only tend to gain that through experience of driving and sort of knowing and understanding where cars can and can't overtake.
I think that's the thing, especially with this kind of circuit as well. We know we've got the tricky turn 1 that, as we've seen from Jake Carey there in the LMP1, if it goes wrong, it definitely goes wrong. I've seen it in an F1 race as well, where DRS didn't close wide open, gone straight off as well into the barrier. Turn 1 is just, it's just one of them corners that you get right, it feels amazing. You get it wrong, your race is over. It's as simple as that. It's just a one-way ticket into the barrier.
It really is. For example, I was driving the Porsche GTE yesterday, and the setup that I was running, sort of almost you almost had to drive the car really on the limit into turn 1, so you had to catch quite a big sort of oversteer moment on the braking zone, and it's really scary, because if you hit the curb a little bit in the wrong way, you will hit the wall, and it's such a corner that you have to push out, because it's such a high speed entry and kind of a mid corner as well. There's so much time to gain there, so you have to be constantly pushing through there. But there are high curbs, there's gravel close, and there's a wall that's really close that you will end up hitting. So yeah, it's why everybody loves this track, right? It's why F1 drivers say it's one of their favorites, because it is so challenging and it is an old school track.
2 seconds there, Seb. We've got Matt Jensen making a move on Damian Gonzalez. Down, as we said, down into turn 1. These guys that have brake, down through the gears they go. That's Matt Jensen up past Damian Gonzalez. That's absolutely brave stuff there from Mads down into turn 1, and he's got the job done. Now, unfortunately for Damian Gonzalez, he's got Matteo Coconel behind him as well, who's also no slouch. And then behind that, we've got Corey McLean. There is Corey and Jerome Charvet. But here's another move, Dylan Freckleton and Used Balmies going down into turn 1. Dylan gets the job done on Used. Used has got to be looking at coming back. He's got to stay with him as well. The draft being so important, not so much on the S's or Dunlops or the Degners, but it is on that long run right the way round from Spoon. Down 12, 13 round Spoon, and then 130R all the way down into the Casio Triangle. So he's got to try and stay with him now to try and keep that draft, because in any race, Seb, it's like we said before, draft, because it is so important with such long straights.
It really is. It tends to be, especially in the LMP2 or LMP1, because it's only Audis, when everybody's got roughly the same car, you really need that draft to gain that extra performance. But what the flip side of that is you've got dirty air, so the air that's really useful on the straight to pull you along hurts you in the corners. So if you're following a car, especially more of the downforce cars through the S's, it really does hurt you performance. So really interesting. More battles out on track at the moment.
Yeah, as we can see here, Diaz, last week's winner, is coming up. He's just gone round Thomas Didier, and he's now going on to the back of Marco Ricci in the Corvette. Now, Marco is a revolutionary Corvette driver. We've seen him every single week. There is Marco in the Corvette. Seems to like the Corvette, does really well on pretty much most circuits. He's another one like Charvet, just takes that continuation of the same car. And I think that's the thing with these guys is, where they are using the same car, they kind of just get that familiarity with it going into corners like turn one. They'll know when it's going to slide. As we see Paolo Goody here, he's got Christian Pereira tucked right up behind him at the moment. That is car number 17. Christian Pereira, car number 19. Now, the continuation of driving the same car, Seb, after a while, it kind of really benefits you, doesn't it? It's a lot more beneficial than swapping from LMP1 to P217 to Ford to Porsche to, you know, the Corvette itself. Is that kind of continuity as you see Pereira go round there in the S's, and Neil DeBacker still tackling traffic, coming into the GTEs again on that run round Dunlop. Now we've got GTEs, P217s. Neil, be careful. Oh, it goes past second part of Degner too. Oh, that was going to get spicy there, Seb, but I thought it was all going to go wrong. Coming up into the hairpin now, Jim DeBacker is coming up to the back. I believe that is Mr. Stuart Bickley and Richard Simnar, who are still together. So this is battle for 5th and 4th in the P217, guys. He clears Richard Simnar. Richard kind of sensibly keeps it on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, in the meantime, goes past the GTE. 3 classes, all on that same bit of track there, Seb. What more could we ask for?
Nothing more. This is the bit of multi-class racing that I just adore, seeing all the classes there at once, and it's so difficult for the LMP1 drivers to come through, and you've got LMP2s and the GTEs all squabbling over, and you just have to be really decisive, really let the driver know with where you're positioning the car to say, I'm going to come through here. And Neil did a really good job there. I really thought that he was going to make some contact there at Degner 1, in the ability that he locked his brakes up a little bit there. You just saw that he just backed out of the corner just enough. Really good driving there, but slipstreaming from Simon behind, so he's trying to break the toe while lapping all of the traffic. It's great, and this is not good now for Niels. He's got a lot of traffic coming up through the S's, so this is a really good chance for Simon to get past and just maybe sort of sneak one up the inside if he's feeling a little bit dangerous. Oh, there's a call into the background.
Yeah, Marco Ricci has gone off. Marco Ricci, I can't see if Charvet, we're on board with Charvet actually as well, so that's Matteo Coconel behind us. So Marco Ricci there in the Corvette, unfortunately coming into that second part of the S's. Looks like we'll have to have a look, because it looked like there was a little gentle nudge on the back end of Marco Ricci's car. I can't tell who that was from, but we'll have to have a look. Did he just lose it, or was he tagged?
Oh, netcode.
Oh, I think, to be honest there, Seb, it didn't. With netcode, we generally see this sharp veer off, don't we, with netcode? It didn't look like that. It looked like Marco Ricci possibly could have lost it himself. Maybe we'll have a look on an onboard and see what he was doing with his steering wheel at that point, because I think so, if it was netcode, he'd be driving in continuing straight, if you see what I mean, because netcode's quite a little horrible thing that we don't like in iRacing, but we see it quite often. So just touching on my subject before, continuity of driving the same car, so important, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's so beneficial, and you know, I think it can normally really negate the differences of, you know, like, because some cars will be quicker at some tracks. I think mostly it will negate that difference, just that familiarity, that knowing how you want the car to be set up, knowing that you actually, say on the Porsche, you prefer less rake, more rake, just knowing that and being able to jump into a car and be quick from lap 1 is really vital. So I think a lot of people don't realize that and sort of say, well, it's, you know, like, it's always better to drive the quickest car. But sometimes it is just better just to drive the same car. And you're seeing that at the moment. I mean, Ricky unfortunately had that spin, But, you know, Charvet doing a really great job in the Ford. There wasn't really a sure bet for this track. It doesn't really suit the track. I mean, there's lots of Porsches out there today, which sort of shows that the Porsche is the quicker car. But, you know, Charvet's doing a great job mixing it up with the Porsche. So it just shows that familiarity with the car really can help.
He is literally a Ford driver, so all the time, literally in a Ford, and I think that really benefits him.
I think it really does. I mean, as I said, he's proving it right now, and just the little thing, as you were saying, like knowing when the car's going to step out into a high-speed corner, knowing what traction control settings you like, knowing what brake bias you like, knowing, you know, sort of the fuel strategy, how much you can push the fuel. It's all these little things that really cement your position. Oh, there's an LMP2 off.
That's Bigley. Stuart Bigley's off. Oh, is he off? Is he gone straight to the pits?
Yeah. Yeah, so he towed back to the pits. I think there's been some contact. We're just seeing the end of it here. He does it very smartly to sort of pull off into the pits because he was really blocking.
Well, the first part was netcode. The second part was definitely not netcode.
Big accident there.
Is that Jake Carey? Is that Jake Carey, car number 9?
Yes.
I think that first part, I'll take for almost that looked like netcode, but that second part where the collision was definitely not. As we see Jonas Weiss here getting climbed all over. Here's Christian Pereira. There is Jonas Weiss getting climbed. He's got Roman Verdolivo's got the job done on Jonas. Be interested to see if we can see that part from Jonas Weiss and Mads Jensen. Here we go. There's Roman Verdolivo. There's car number 17 in the LMP2. That's Paolo Godi. There you go. Look at that. Weiss just runs wide at Spoon, and that allows Verdolivo to get that job done on the inside and that run down to him. But here we go. We got Richard Simnar. Oh, he's just kind of, this is what we're expecting here, Seb. What you're seeing from Simnar is kind of what you would expect from this top split, wouldn't it? That patience. He didn't rush that move on that GTE, but he's managed to keep it on track, which is important.
It really is a great job by him. Also, want to apologise to Jim Carrey. I don't think it was him involved in that incident. I think Dominique, the number 23 car, has come to the pit. So I think he was the one involved in that little incident coming up to the hairpin there. That's a very damaged Porsche there, the number 3 car, just looking there. That's Mads Jensen. So he's still third with that car.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, we've done this before. We've had these discussions before with rear wings on cars, and we've seen it in longer endurance events that they don't seem to make that big of a difference. So it doesn't seem with the Porsche that rear wing makes much of a difference, Seb. I've got to be honest. We've seen it before at 45 degrees on one end plate, and the driver, I think, actually went on and won the race. So, you know, I'm not surprised that Mads Jensen's still going. It's just unfortunately he's got Damian Gonzalez and Corey McLean right up Corey McClaymore, right up the back of him. But yeah, there you go. Not really an interactive part of the car in iRacing, Seb.
Yeah, I mean, he needs the rear wings. I mean, it's not like it's a downforce track or anything. It's yeah. I mean, the iRacing damage model, not perfect, but certainly very good.
It's getting there, Seb. We just don't think the rear wing on that Porsche, as it's gone into the pits. Don't get me wrong, but we don't think. Don't think the rear wing on that Porsche really matters. I've got to be honest, but as I say, we've seen it before. Doesn't really seem to do a lot. But what is doing a lot at the moment is Corey McClaymore and Damian Gonzalez, with Charvet now up into an amazing 4th place in class, up 4 places. So the biggest movers is Charvet up 4, and Fabio Chiambella, I've got up 4 as well. So maybe he's maybe I think my timing tower was having a little bit of a mad moment there, but he's up 2. He's in 4th place as well. Another new driver to tonight. It's great to see this variation on a Thursday. You know, we're used to Jake Carey, Jim DeBacker, Simon Carlos, Neil DeBacker, but when we see somebody like Fabio going around doing his business well, you know, he brings a sort of that moment of fresh air, doesn't it, to the race? And he's got, you know, he's only got Neil DeBacker Jim DeBacker about a second up the road.
It certainly doesn't, especially in the LMP1 field, which has been a little bit shaky so far. So really good to see some new drivers wanting to drive the LMP1, and always good to see new names in the field. having a look down the field. So, yeah, so Dominique has come out of the pits again after that incident, so he is back out. Stuart Bickley has not, so he's still in the pit, so I think he might have retired from the race, or that car is taking a little bit longer to repair. Of course, the difficulty with a multi-class sprint race like this is that, you know, you can be involved in more incidents, but you don't have necessarily the chance. We see Corey McElmore here having
Gonzalez in front, wasn't it?
It was. So lock up into Spoon, so easy to do, and that just allows Corey through on the inside. I thought they were actually going to make contact there. The white Porsche just sort of came back onto the track, but all was good in the end. That's a lot of curve from that LMP2 as well. Really pushing out there at the moment.
That's used Baumeister and Christian Pereira, the recovering Christian Pereira. Loic in chat, mirrors ordered for Stuart. Oh. We won't tell him you said that, Loic. That's a little bit harsh. We'll have to see what happened on board with Stuart there and whether or not he did actually need it. As I say, I think at the end of the race, I think the initial part was a little bit netcode as he went across. But unfortunately, Dominic Englick on that second part with the major collision, as we saw, was not all Mr. Bickley's fault. You know, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here, Loic. We'll have to have a look at the end. But this is Charvet, Matteo Conto climbing all over the back of Charvet, currently going up through Dunlop, I believe, coming down into Degner. We did mention earlier on the Ford is not good on his tyres. Now, obviously, producer Sean drives his car regularly and has basically said, sort of within about 5 or 6 laps, the tyres on the Ford is a little bit shaky, aren't they?
They are indeed, and it's really proving at the moment from Charvet there, just not having the grip at the moment. I mean, will he be forced to take tyres during this sprint race? I mean, he is really struggling at the moment, so we'll have to see. I mean, 30 seconds it takes to change tyres, so you'd have to be really slow if you wanted to take tyres. But yeah, it's sad for Jerome at the moment, just falling down the order. Maybe he can get some sort of try and cool the tyres again and push, but it does not seem at the moment. The upside of the Ford is, just been told in my ear, that it goes sort of a lap or two extra in fuel, so you've got sort of, you're using less fuel but a little bit more tyres. It looks just more like heat than anything, actually, because, you know, heat really affects the tyres, especially around here, and especially with the track temperature we've got at the moment. Charvet very close to a collision with the car ahead.
He's into the pits now, so we'll have a look. As I say, we don't think he's going to take tyres. I'd be very surprised if he does, to be fair. We've got Christian Pereira up the back of Joost Baumeister, who is losing pace to Dylan Freckleton. Now, we saw that move from Dylan on Joost, and Joost is now losing a little bit of gaps to Dylan. I mean, the gap's out to about 1.8. However, behind him is Christian, the recovering Christian Pereira. He's now got the gap to under a second. It's 0.63 and closing. And I mean, it's not closing quick, but it is closing enough that it could be looking at this 130R as they go round Spoon. His long run down and then through 130R before you get to Casio Triangle. Pereira could possibly be a lot closer to use than we were expecting. Here we go, guys. It goes down 47, 46, 45, 44, 33, and it's closing quick all the way down. Here we go. Oh, is he going to make the move down into Casio? He's not. No, he's not made that move, but we're going to follow this down into turn 1. This is an excellent angle on the nose here with Christian Pereira. Joost Baumeister has got to be looking at doing it. The gap is coming down again. 0.34 all the way down. 3.3 under 3 now. Here we go, Christian Pereira. Is he going to look at taking that move on the inside? He goes in a different angle to Joost. Joost looks like he drifts a little bit wide. Oh, get on the... Oh, there you go. That's Christian Pereira through. God, I thought that was a little bit scary from Joost there. It was almost like Seb, he went on a different line. And there is a couple of different lines through turn 1, but they're not... They both do the same job, if you get what I mean.
They do. It's one of those. I mean, that's the great thing about Suzuka, is that there are many different corners that have many different lines. It just looks like he's just pushing a little bit too much at the moment. That car looking very slidey out, and you're right. I think he did go a little bit too deep into turn 1 than he would have liked, because he was really trying to pick up the throttle as quick as possible. Oh, there's a mistake from Piera there. Just sort of getting the Degner 2 wrong there. Easy to do. We've seen other drivers do it in the race, but that's cost him a little bit of time. But honestly, not as much time as it could have done. So I think he's gotten away with that. Let's have a look at Diogo having a pass at Spoon. Quite a lot of overtakes at Spoon so far.
Yeah, that's Charisma and on Etienne. There, the move done. It seems to be when you go in too deep on that corner, though, isn't it, Seb? You know, you run in too deep, and therefore you end up where you were there. It's kind of a tricky corner, isn't it, Spoon?
Really is. You have to be quick on the entry and quick on the exit, so you really have to sacrifice the mid corner. I think we're shaping up for a move at the moment. Pierre, after having
turn one.
I think so too, yeah. So Pierre, after making that mistake at Declan 2 on this lap, used pit, so he's into the pit. So Pierre is going to go for the overcut, and Jels Braumeister will be going for the undercut, trying to pit earlier, and we'll see what happens. And it all depends on where Just can come out on the track, if he's in traffic or not. So really interesting dynamics heading on in this race so far.
Yeah, so let's have a run through your order now. At the moment, as you see, Neil De Backer is out in front. He's opened up a 2.6 gap over second place man Simon Cowlott. So that's absolutely incredible from Neil. In third place is Jim De Backer. He's opened up a 2.45 second gap from Fabio Chiambella. Behind him, there is Fabio, new to this evening. Now, behind him, we've got Jake Carey, who's in fifth place. And then we've got Dominic Englert, who is just there, who unfortunately was involved in a somewhat crazy collision with Mr. Stuart Bickley and a GTE. In the LMP2, sorry, we've got Michael Romanidis. Well, we haven't really spoken about Michael, I've got to be honest. He's been out in front, doing a fantastic job. He's got Claudio Greco in second. Paolo Godoy is in third. Richard Simnar is in amazing fourth, with Dylan Freckleton in fifth. He's got 1.7 seconds to Simnar, who's got Christian Pereira 1.35 behind him. So he's got to be careful. Behind that is Nick Burke in seventh, and Fabio Bissetti in eighth place. Alexander Bischel is there as well. He is currently in ninth. David Grable in 10th, and Just Baumeister in 11th. Now, James Upton is, I believe, there you go. He's just looking like he's coming out the pits. He was involved earlier on. So there you go. So in the GTEs, we've got Roman Verdalivo now is in first place. Then Jonas Weiss is in second. Corey McClaymore is in third. Damian Gonzalez is in fourth. Mateo Conganao is in fifth place. Jorge Felipe Diaz is in sixth. Thomas Dada is in seventh. Oh, looks like, where are you, Thomas? You are just gone in the hairpin. That looked a bit of a slow entry. We'll see if he's just had a little bit of a moment there. Marco Ricci was in ninth. Oh, there you go. He's just been overtaken by Charisma there from Marco Ricci in ninth place. Mikkel Etienne is in 10th. Antoine Houle is in 11th. Mads Jensen is in 12th. Now, there you go. There's Mads' Porsche. He went in the pits, believe it or not. And Charvet is in 13th. Now, we believe Stuart Bickley is back up on track. He is in he's in last, 32nd, behind the GTEs as well. So I think Stuart Bickley, he's back on track, I believe, as well. I think he's just gone up there in front of us. As we see Marco Ricci coming into the hairpin. This is what we were talking about. He had a very slow one, did Marco there. But then again, behind him, there you go. Oh, well avoided. That is what gave us the slow entrance that we clicked on earlier on. So, okay, so there, that's Romanidis! Romanidis and a GTE. Who was that in that GTE? Going down into the hairpin. We'll have to see if we can catch up with who that was involved. But that's car number 4. Michael Romanidis. Is that Gonzalez, I believe? Oh, they've tagged. He goes off. He just comes across the track. That's car number 32. Antoine Houle. And then a little bit of afterbar yargy there for Michael Romanidis and Antoine Houle. So unfortunately, wow, Seb, that's what we were talking about in multi-class. Anything can happen, even to Michael Romanidis.
It certainly can. Carnage at the hairpin there. Multiple cars off, and really unlucky for Romanidis there because he sort of had such a light contact, and also unlucky for Antoine, who was pushed onto the grass. And on the grass you can't brake. There's no grip there, so Antoine really tried to stop and made contact again with Romanidis. So Romanidis has stopped. That's why he's in 8th. So he's one of the only LMP2 drivers to stop. As we have a look at Pierre here, getting past the number 10 car down into turn 1. Great move from him.
Oh, Pereira and Freckleton. Pereira's not going to be happy, is he? That's poor man. He's had to recover twice this evening, and this being his second time. A little bit difficult to swallow, as I say. He's coming in now. Was he tagged from Dylan Freckleton?
I just understood.
Well, yes. Oh, Seb, what do you reckon? You said he understood. I don't know.
From what I saw,
out, Seb. Go on, go for it.
From what I saw, I think he went just too quick into the corner. I think Freckleton was able to take his line. I don't think he turned in too aggressively there. So I think just
yeah.
Looking like Romanidis has got some damage.
I think after that incident, Romanidis has got severe damage because David Grable has just gone past him. And just let's point out that the speed difference was he went past him fairly convincingly. So I wouldn't be surprised if, well, he's not actually. I thought Michael Romanidis would have peeled off into the pits at that point. But we're still on board with Fabio Bassetti and Dylan Freckleton and the recovering for the second time this evening, Christian Pereira. Unfortunately, he's pushing along. Fabio Bassetti. Oh, well, we did.
I think Pierre needs to come down here. He's not driving. I mean, Bassetti will be livid at that, and he has every right to be. I think Christian Pierre.
This is the one, no, Chris. Sorry, this is the one, Seb. He's after Freckleton because Freckleton and him were involved in argy-bargy before. Oh, what is going on?
That's the leader. That's the leader in LMP1.
Yeah, that's Jim the Backer. What are they doing? Oh, man. Yeah, this is absolute crazy.
And this is what happens in multi-class racing. If you've got somebody like Pierre that's really wanting to get through the field, it could sort of cause everybody around him just to I'm not blaming him in any way, but it's sort of what can happen here, and you have sort of people crashing around you. So Jim DeBacker looks like he's come off okay. I can't see any damage on the car right now, but disaster. I mean, really not a good lap. Really scruffy lap from Pierre there, and scruffy from everybody behind him. Really everything going on at the moment. Has Simon Kulatz, has he pitted? He has. We could be seeing a change of the lead here.
Yeah, Carlos is. We think he's pitted. He's in 3rd place. Gone past Michael Romanidis there in the LMP2. And he's coming up to Marco Ricci, and he seems to have avoided all the carnage earlier on. There's quite a few cars jumped in the pits in front of him, though, so he's gonna clear a gap right out to Claudio Greco. I believe, actually, it's car number 6, David Grable. There he is. There's Grable going down the start. If he can clear some of these cars in the pits that was causing all of this basic car, I think the only way I can use it, Seb, is complete carnage. Pereira was on a mission. He looked like he was on a mission. Grable gets out the way sensibly, causing Carlos no trouble at all. Okay, so that's how, if you are watching and want a lesson in how to clear out the way for the LMP1s in multi-class, David Grable's just showed it. This is a Jim DeBacker. So he went over, in Degner 1, hit the curb though. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that was a mistake or if he's got damaged, Seb. I don't know, because it's that Degner 1 where if you hit that curb or the outside curb, it's going to be a bit treacherous anyway, isn't it?
It is. To me, it looked very much like a standard Audi bounce. When you just hit the curve too much, the car bounces up, bounces down, gains loads of grips very quickly, and spins you off. Very lucky there from Chewbacca to not hit the wall there. So Kaulat's looking really good now for the overall lead. Fabio Chiambielli, though, in the lead at the moment. Not stopped yet, but could maybe have a little bit of a comeback towards the end of the race. So he pits now. So P1 in LMP1 is in the pits. P1 in LMP2 is also in the pits, and Pierre also comes into the pits now. So, I think hopefully things have calmed down just a little bit, and let's see, can Simon take the lead of the race, getting very close to the grass there.
Claudio Greco must have been sitting there, as we call it, definitely having one of their moments. So Claudio Greco has pitted, but Claudio Greco has just taken the lead from the LMP2. So well done, Claudio Greco. The third, absolutely flying. And David Grable is come out in second place. He's up. Now, I've got him up 11 places. Yeah, he's up from the back. David Grable, he's showing us what it is like to just go on and do about your own business. He has literally come up 11 places from the back of the LMP2 into second place. We have 19 minutes remaining. We just say he's doing really well, and I thought he was going to send it up. Yeah, I thought he was going to send it the upside of Charvet, but he did take an off track there. Absolutely credible. How are the Porsche's LMP1s doing tonight? There is none. They're not, unfortunately. They are out. There's full Audis. There's no Porsches in the field, I'm afraid. Everybody is in an Audi of the 6 LMP1s we've got. So sorry, Bremsplan, I can't really give you that. Unfortunately, there's been none this evening. But there is Porsches in the GTEs. If you want to have a look, you've got one in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and well, that's it, because then you've got Charvet in a Ford, and you've got Matt Jensen in 10th place. There you go, Bremsplan. So, Seb, we've got 18 minutes. Now, we have this conversation every week about 18 minutes, it'd be to go. 40 minutes of action, right? It's been absolutely chaotic. We've seen it. Jim De Backer, Neil De Backer, everybody's been involved in everything. Mr. Bickley's obviously been off. Absolutely crazy. Are we now getting to that stage of this tiredness? You know, because I know they're only an hour, but concentrating for an hour in multi-class is really quite hard. Why is Grable in? I thought Grable had gone.
So Grable's not pitted then.
I thought he pitted as well. I thought he pitted there, Seb. I'm sure he had it on my time in tower as they pitted, but maybe not for David Grable.
Yeah, he was on my time in tower as well, so maybe he didn't take enough fuel. Maybe there's something going on there. Is that a Porsche on its jacks getting tyres? I think it is. Anyway, go. Yeah. So going back to what you're saying about tiredness. Yeah, I mean, just look at the racing. Look how intense it is around here. I mean, it's so different to a multi-hour event where, yes, you're driving for longer, but you're not having to. It's not. What's I was going to say? You don't have enough time to build into the gaps. It's getting very close there. It's a sprint race, right? Every move counts, every overtake counts. You can't just let people go and race your own race until the last hour, because this is the last hour. It's also the first hour, so it's really tricky. And I think you will see people make a little bit more mistakes. Great battle here from Joust though, trying to get past Simonar up ahead. And Joust has been super quick, and we see most of the GTEs now heading into the pit lane.
Yeah, see, the thing with Joust is, right, he's run what I would like to call is like a chapter race. He's run like the first chapter up until his pit stop, where he's just been steady. He's just been keep going, trying to stay out of traffic. That's them passing Michael Romanidis. Well, that's got to be a feather in the bow for Richard Simonar and Joust Baumeister. But Joust has just gone about his business, and now he's into that second stage, his second chapter of his book for tonight's race, and he's now going for it because he's pushing Simonar. Oh, they're all coming out of the pits together. Go. Oh, Joust, I'm just bigging you up. Please don't stack it, because otherwise I feel really bad and I've commentator's cursed you. But you see what I mean, Seb, with Joust, he kind of was just plodding along earlier. He's almost done a Simonar, and now he's kind of really pushing on for this last 15 minutes.
It has. It's a really smart way of doing it. Bring the tyres in early. Oh, Freckleton off the track there. Just manages to gather gather all of it up. But yeah, so Piero right behind him. Well, about 2 seconds behind, but Piero's got this mass of GTE traffic at the moment, so he's going to be really, really slow. So will we see round 2 of Piero versus Freckleton? Oh, Charvet getting very close. Oh, of course, Porsche almost hitting him in the rear. I hear shouts on the team radio. It's going absolutely mad. Pierre just sort of loving this, wanting to catch up, egging on all of the GTEs to not let him pass. I want to have a go. I want to see if I can overtake him, and we're certainly going to get the battle once again.
I honestly thought that was going to be Dylan Freckleton, Charvet and Diaz. Now, Charvet and Diaz had this epic battle in Road America, and Diaz come out on top. As I say, Charvet led the whole race. I was hoping it wasn't going to end that way, because Charvet and Diaz are absolutely incredible and done absolutely amazing. But what is Pereira going to do at the back end of Dylan Freckleton now? Because is he going to make this clean? Because these guys were involved in turn one. And we did see the red mist loom over Christian Pereira, where he literally had probably a lap to a half, three quarters of a lap of sheer and utter quite madness. It got quite scary. I've got to be honest. It was not looking good on the screen at that moment of time of that racing. So is this going to be... Oh, no. No, Romanidis is off again. Oh, I don't know if that was Romanidis in the wrong place, wrong time, trying to get out of the way of Dylan Freckleton and Christian Pereira, because these guys are having this epic battle that they've been having all the way through the race. They've been involved in a little bit of argy-bargy in turn one, and I thought that was going to be a little bit more, how can I put it, worse than what it is. But we see Englick there clearing Kian Bella for fourth place in the LMP1s. Seb, that was actually more cleaner. Okay, so we had Romanidis going off. We've just seen it. That's between Freckleton and Pereira, though, was a lot cleaner than a... Oh, Rabel there. Unfortunately, he's just going round. It was a little bit cleaner than we thought it could have been, because Pereira did have that red mist on his head, didn't he, at that point?
Yes, certainly a lot cleaner than what I was expecting, and I think Romanidis there really just took the easy way out there and just went, yeah, not getting involved in that. Of course, he's really, you could just see the pace difference. He's barely being able to get past a GTE, and I think, who was that? I think Freckleton just chose the wrong side there, chose to tuck in to try and get the slipstream off Romanidis, but I don't think he was aware of how slow Romanidis was on the straight line, and that just allowed Pierre just to get up the inside there. This battle's going on. I would have thought that Fabio would have been further up the field, so I wonder if he's had a little bit of an incident, because he was leading, albeit before the pit stops, but I really thought that Fabio was going to be sort of third. So very interesting to see what's gone on. Charvet, though, catching Diaz again, and we're up for a great battle in Diaz's rear wings, looking a little bit interesting, but maybe it's just the new aero package that you need around here.
I think Porsche have brought their upgrades for the ESS on Thursday night, broadcast split set, and one of them is a 45-degree angle wing, and it works really well around Suzuka. Clearly, it's good for the S's. It gives that, that kind of downforce action that you need. So, who needs a straight rear wing? As we see Charvet here trying to battle up to the back of Diaz at this moment in time. These guys, as I say, epic battle Road America. If you've not seen it, guys, please check the video out. It is in the past broadcasts of the Total Sim Sport YouTube channel. And if you are here for the first time, please do not forget to subscribe, turn on them bells for notification to be the first to know when TSS brings you all the action, as we do every Thursday night from ESS. Okay, so please, and obviously Jeans Bowl Formula 3 as well. So please do that, hit that button, turn on them bells, you'll be the first to know. As we see Christian Pereira and Nick Burke now getting close together with 11 minutes to go. Pereira's gone past Burke and he's chasing down Joost Bouwmeester. He's got about a 6-second gap, so whether or not he's going to pull that back, lap time wise though, Joost was about 1.2 seconds, no, maybe just under 1 second slower than Christian Pereira. So I think Romanidis is basically, he's about 5 seconds slower at the moment. He's really struggling in that car. Come an absolute, basically was involved in an incident in the hairpin, and that was with Antoine Oulé in the Porsche. And unfortunately, them guys come together. Oulé got a knock from Romanidis. He went across the hairpin, as you say, on grass. And as we know in iRacing, once you hit the grass, there's no stopping you. And unfortunately, as Romanides turn into the hairpin, they come all the way through, and unfortunately, bang, straight in the side of Romanides. The guys both out into the hairpin. Seb, 10 minutes. It's been an absolutely incredible battle. Run us through the replay of what's Ricky been up to.
All right, Ricky. So there's. Oh, no, that's bad. That was. Oh, the producer in my head just went, that was bad. Yep. Yeah, that was not quite sure what happened. Let's have a look at the onboard here from Marco Ricci. Coming through 130. The Porsche spun. All right, so the Porsche spun, kept his wheels going, tried to get to the inside, trying to get out of the way, but sort of driven, sort of inadvertently, I think, into Marco Ricci's path there, and through the gravel he goes. And oh, so this is Thomas Jäger there, just catching the outside curb there. Really easy to do. He tries to get out of the way, but goes in front, and that's why, I mean, we always say it, always hold your brakes, just stay predictable, and that's what happens if you don't. And that's extra damage there for Thomas, and that car will be very, very heavily damaged. I think it's had two heavy impacts, one at the front, one at the rear, and it's a mid-engine car, so you've got two chances there of damaging the engine. Oh, a little bit of contact there for Jerome Charvet, and that's pushed him off.
No, Charvet keeping out of the barrier. Oh, Charvet's taking the Ford off-roading now. Well done to Charvet. We'll have to have a look. Was that a little clip there, I believe, on the inside? So there you go. Absolutely incredible for Charvet there, Seb.
I think he shows him the best car. I mean, no reason. I mean, Ford won the rallying at Monaco this month, so clearly putting that prestige to good use. It's like me driving a Fiesta. Probably not as quick though. So yeah, Charvet, I think there's definitely a push there from an LMP1. So really not what you want to see. I think Charvet lost the position. No, he didn't. He just lost time to Diaz, but no position. So, oh, Mad Jensen there spinning around, hitting the wall, adding another dent to one of those cars.
You know what that reminds me of? Do you know, have you seen the film Days of Thunder, Seb? Where Cole Trickle brings the car in after his first race and he gets basically dented all the way round. The race engineer jumps the wall, goes up to the car, and he goes, oh, look, there's one of the parts that aren't dented. So his team manager goes up, absolutely kicks the car, and says, well, you know, if we're going to dent it, we might as well dent the whole car. And that is just what it reminds me of Matt Jensen, because Matt has pretty much dented every part of that Porsche, bless him. And if he had a race engineer, I'm sure he'd come out and kick that underneath door there. But, you know, bless him. He's been involved in the wars as Matt Jensen tonight. Absolute stellar. Look at it. It's just literally the left side. Actually, I suppose, yeah, the left side's looking a bit ropey. The rear wing's, well, definitely gone. I think if any side, he's going to come out and kick the right side driver's door. There you go, Seb. I don't know.
I think he is. It's sort of, you know, like when you look at a car and you go, sort of every dent has its own story in a 24-hour race. I mean, he's done that in 53 minutes. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, well, a round of applause for Matt Jensen. Not the race we want to remember. Maybe he's a bit unhappy with that Porsche and he's trying to as much as he can before he never drives it again. But yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Poor Matt Jensen. He's been involved in it though, isn't he? Not all of it entirely his fault. You know what I mean?
He was third. He was running third at one point with the damaged car. So yeah, mad props to him for keeping that on the track, because that does not look like a fun.
Another stellar job. Verdolivo's off now as he goes round in turn one. Michael Romanides in front of. Oh,
that's going to be in the barrier.
That is a one-way ticket to Roman Verdolivo. What damages he's got in that Porsche? I have to see. Jump on board with him in a minute, and I will have a look as we go back to Matt Jensen.
His car doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, he's done a stellar job to keep the car going. You know what I mean? There's Roman Verdolivo. Yeah, there's no damage on that. I would say no damage on that Porsche because it looks like he's holding it straight. Yeah, there's no correction to get that Porsche going straight, so maybe he's just got really lucky there. Cacanao is up to fifth. He's chasing Damian Gonzalez, gone up the inside. Gonzalez has gone wide again. Now, that's the second time Gonzalez has done that. He's done it in Spoon, lost a position. He's done it now, coming around Dunlop, and he's lost another position. He kind of needs to, gets a big tank slapper on there. That's going to allow Diaz right up behind him. There we go. Diaz is coming right up behind him now, and I believe, is that Jim DeBacker car number 13, yes, in LMP1 as well, trying to chase him down. So, you know, Gonzalez ain't careful if he don't get Spoon right, because he's been going in deep pretty much most of the race and he's lost a few positions. Let's have a look if he can get it right this time. He's kind of, he couldn't have gone really much wider there because he would have been ended up taking it off track. But Diaz is quick, also in a damaged Porsche, but as we say, doesn't seem to make a difference. So we've got a little under 5 minutes there, Seb. Why don't you just give us a quick, speedy Sebastian Bosher-Williams run through of the tables?
All right, so Simon Cowlatz is your leader overall. Neil DeBacker in second. Jake Carey third. Jim DeBacker in fourth. Dominique Engelick is fifth, and Fabio Schiavelli is sixth. Looking down towards your LMP2, Claudio Greco still in the lead after a great second stint from him. Paolo Goody is second, Richard Simonar in third, with Joost Brouwmeister right behind him in fourth. First podium here for Richard Simonar, if he can just keep it on the road for 4 long minutes. So Joost Brouwmeister in fourth. Closing in though, can he take away that podium from Richard Simonar? 4 minutes to find out. Christian Piera is fifth place with Nick Burke in sixth place. It's very tight in the LMP2 field at the moment. Things could really heat up, so we'll be watching that as we approach 4 minutes to go in this race. Dylan Freckleton in seventh behind him. Looking towards the GTEs, Roman Verdolivo is your leader after that little incident at turn 1. Still going strong. And a little bit of a nursing the Porsche. You see the damage there on the front left, so clearly got a little bit of damage. Jonas Wise in second place. He's finishing where he started at the moment. Started second, currently second, doing a great job. Corey Macklemore in third place. Good drive for him, but he is right behind Jonas Wise. Will there be a position change in the final couple of minutes of this race? Matteo Campanau is fourth in the number 26 Porsche, doing a great job. That car looks very clean. Talking of a car that doesn't look as clean is Jorge Felipe Diaz in fifth place, and Damian Gonzalez is right behind him, 8/10 to be exact. Damian Gonzalez is behind Felipe Diaz. All to play for. Is he Diaz got past Gonzalez?
Yeah, Diaz got past Gonzalez. I do wonder if that's Gonzalez running deep into Spoon again. There, turn 1. Ooh. Oh, that would have to be a little bit on the nose of Diaz to see what that was, and to see if that was contact. It looked very close though, Seb. 2 minutes 36 seconds remaining. We've got our leader coming around 130R going into Calcio Triangle. So there's definitely going to be 2 more laps. So we'll have 1 more lap and then the white flag lap. So there's Simon Cowlatz in first place in the LMP1. But then again, his wing's not looking tasty either. So, I mean, you know, it looks like they're exchanging a lot of wings this evening as he's talking about wings as Matt Jensen. But Simon Cowlatz has got that little kink in his wing. I don't remember him being... Nope, it's gone straight again on my screen. Maybe he's having a funny minute. There's Seb. Oh, well.
I think I kind of recall him having a little bit of contact with somebody. I don't know at this point. It's kind of been one of those races where everybody everyone's had a bit of contact with everybody. I would not like to see the repair bill after this race. I'm glad that we're in iRacing where you can just hit the respot. I think Marco Ricci has had another incident, so we'll bring a replay of that in a second. But yeah, the repair bill for this race. Let's have a look at the Marco Ricci incident. So this is through turn 1. Is he going to hit the exit curb? No, he's not. So we're down.
No cross. Oh no, he's coming up through the S's. Well, that's... Yeah, I think he stopped.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, it didn't crash. Just gave up. 3 minutes to go. Maybe he needed to go somewhere.
I don't know. It looks a bit dodgy. I wouldn't kind of park it on 58. It's 58 seconds. 8 minutes. 59 minutes. So, yeah, he's going to be in the same place as Marco Ricci. Michael Etienne is about 4 laps behind. So he's not going to change the position. He will basically just finish there. I guess he's erring on the side of caution because it has been quite chaotic as Simon Cowlatz come around to take the white flag lap of the European Sprint Series live from Suzuka. Broadcast on the TSS YouTube channel, guys. Do not forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that like on the video, hit that thumbs up, and if you're really lucky, what you can do, and really, really nice, turn on them bells for notification to be the first to know when TSS brings you all the action from the ESS on Thursday and the Jeans Bowl F3 on a Tuesday. So hit that bells, guys. You won't be disappointed as we see Corey McElroy climbing all over the back of Jonas Weiss. These guys obviously clearly have not started the final lap yet. So they're going to come around the hairpin. So they're going to be having one more lap on the run out here. So they're going to get this job done. I don't think, saying that, unless Simon Cowlitz Cowlitz might catch. No, Cowlitz is at the hairpin. Surely he might not. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be a hit or miss, isn't it, Seb? Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to call something that I'm not too sure, because Cowlitz is coming down now. He's coming into Spoon. These guys are just coming out of Spoon. So if Cowlitz takes them, if Cowlitz takes them, these guys are finished. I don't know, Seb. Is this going to be a move for second? Because do they know that Simon Cowlitz... I don't think Cowlitz is going to get him, no. Cowlitz is not going to get him, so this is going to go to one more lap from Jonas Weiss and Corey McElroy as we head there. So we'll have to keep an eye on what's just happened to Richard Simner on the last lap. He hasn't finished. Has he gone into the pits? As I'm trying to veer, I don't know why. I'm trying to know why I'm looking to the left. I can't actually see anything, but there you go. Richard... No, he's not in... Simon Cowlitz is your winner of the LMP1. Sorry, we concentrated on Richard Simner and we don't know what actually happened to him. Simon Cowlitz is your winner. And then in the LMP2, we got Claudio Greco up a stellar 2 places throughout the race, done an absolutely amazing job. Philip Diaz gets out of the way as we see Roman Verdolivo. He is coming around Dunlop at the moment, so he's got another lap to go with Jonas Weiss and Corey McElroy. So them guys are really close. They're going to be really close together. Great podium for Simner. I don't believe he got a podium, Patrick Faulkner. We think he ran out of fuel. He underfueled by a lap. So therefore unfortunately, he didn't finish. He was basically down. So he dropped out. So Roman Verdolivo is down in 17th place, I believe. Is leader of GT. Can we go back to Corey McElroy and Jonas Weiss, please, Mr. Producer, because them guys are closing up together. Here we go as they head around Spoon for the very last time. McElroy has got past Weiss, so we'll have to see how that happens. If we can catch it before the end here. But here we go. Jonas Weiss is going to try and get up to the back of Corey McElroy as they run down the long back straight. We'll have a look after the race and the move. How McElroy got the job done as they're coming down into 130R now. Full speed, flat out. Is this going to be one move by Weiss coming into Casio Triangle? Last lap of the race, last corner. Weiss goes out. He pokes his nose out. And then sits back in again. Verdolivo is taking a GTE victory. Jonas Weiss is finished. Well, he kind of looked like there, Seb. He settled for 3rd place at the end now. I suppose 3rd is better than nothing, isn't it, really?
It is, and I don't think he had enough of an opportunity. Let's have a look at the overtake just down the inside into the hairpin. I think Jonas there sort of wanted to try and get the cutback, but it really doesn't work there. So I think he's... I tried that yesterday, and he just sort of let the driver through, but great move there from Corey to take the second on the last lap. So... great racing all throughout that race.
Yeah, absolutely incredible from these guys. That's how the move was done by Corey McElroy. Now we're having little debates for Simner in chat. Just suddenly disappeared. He didn't blink before that. So no, he disconnected, said Just. So maybe he just disappeared, power cut or something. He said in Discord it was a DC. So he's... I was first. Yeah, was third, last half of last lap.
He did.
He DC'd.
Yeah,
he DC'd in the last. Wow, last third of the last lap. Ouch. Poor
that's
Richardson.
Unlucky.
Unlucky. That's I think you would kind of go a little bit more mental than that when it was poor Richardson now there up into an incredible 3rd place. But you, Baumeister, on the upside, you do get podium. So take a bow. So here we go. Here's the results of the race this evening. LMP1 winner Simon Cowlitz, 18 seconds over Neil De Backer. Jake Carey in third. Jim DeBacco, who had a very action-packed race, was in fourth. Dominic Englick fifth, and Fabio Chiambella was in sixth place. In the LMP2s, we got Claudio Greco was our winner. Paolo Godoy in second. Joost Bouwmeester, take a bow. You're in third, sir. Christian Pereira driving, had red mist earlier on in the race and a little bit of incidents for Freckleton. He was in fourth. Nick Burke in fifth. Fabio Bassetti in sixth. Michael Romanidis. Now, we were talking about it earlier on. 8KIR. And unfortunately was involved in an incident with Anton Ule in the GTEs in the hairpin. So that's why Romanidis was in seventh. He was losing speed rapidly. Alexander Bishel in eighth. David Grable in ninth. At one point played a trick on our timing tower. He said he pitted and he come out in second. So unfortunately for David, he ended up ninth. Dylan Freckleton in 10th. Richardson, you still finished in 11th. As you say, he DC'd in the third last half of the last lap, he said. So in the first section of the last lap, he disconnected. James Upton was involved in an incident earlier on. Unfortunately, he's managed one lap down. And Stuart Bickley, well, we saw that when Mr. Bickley was involved in an absolutely somewhat chaotic incident going into the hairpin. There was GTEs involved. There was an LMP1, and it all got a little bit messy. So down into the GTEs, we've got Roman Verdolivo back on top as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's his first victory this season. I think it is. Yeah, I think that's Roman Verdolivo's first victory of the ESS broadcast split. Corey McElmore is second. Jonas Weiss in third. Absolutely incredible drives from them two. Went down to the last lap. Corey McElmore just sent it up the inside of the hairpin on the last lap of Jonas Weiss. Mateo Coconao in fourth. Jorge Diaz in fifth. Damon Gonzalez sixth. Jerome Chavez in seventh. Diego Charisma in eighth. Matt Jensen, who is finished with half a Porsche, somewhat damaged in every panel apart from the driver's door, I believe. Marco Ricci in the Corvette in 10th. Michael Etienne in 11th. Thomas Dida in 12th. And as we say, Anton Ule was 6 laps down in 13th position. So yeah, big congrats to you, Bouwmeester. Lucky third. Unlucky for Richardson. He feels sick, apparently. He went for 59 minutes, Seb. DC last third of the last lap.
Such a shame.
Yeah. Absolutely gutted for him. So in the LMP1, we've got Simon Cowlotz winning on 132. Jan Koobs wasn't here tonight, so it was a big opportunity for Jim DeBacco to really go. And unfortunately, Jim finished down in, I believe, 4th or 5th place this evening. He's in third. Jake Carey 4th. Neil DeBacco in 5th. Luke Santos 6th. Dominic Englick 7th. Danielle Pizzo in 8th. Pasco Nelly's in 9th. And Amber Hawkins in 10th. So in the LMP2s, Owen Carroll is now in the lead on 45 points. Joost Bouwmeester. Joost, you're up in the second place. Up 2 places, overtaking Stuart Bickley and Rui Queiroz. Michael Romanidis is in 5th. He's up 3 in 31. So has he raced with us this season? I must have missed it. Nick Burke is up at an amazing 10th on 27. Lucas Papp on in 7th place. Marcus Deck in 8th. Fraser Williamson 9th. Ross Woodford, is in 10th place. Yeah, and sorry, I get my teeth mixed up. I'll pick them up in a minute. In the GTEs, we've got Jerome Chavez in first. Roman Verdolivo now is up 9th. French top 2 there, guys. Chavez and Verdolivo. So that's absolutely incredible. Verdolivo moving up 9 places into second place. Jorge Diaz is in third. Saeed Bishoa in 4th. Jean-Luc Denaya is in 5th. Sven Haas in 6th. Philip Meyer in 7th. William Barra-Vieira is in 8th. Anton Vitrudev in 9th. And Claudio Mack is in 10th. Woohoo! Second place. Yes, Joost, you are. Bless you. You're in second, Joost. Keep it going. You can overtake them. You're going to win as well. And you get a special gift from, Total Sim Sport. I can't tell you what it is, Joost, to be honest. We're not entirely sure. So, I'm sure we've sent you something. We'll send you something, Joost. It'll be a signed photograph of the team. I'll send you one previous, of myself. We'll get Chris to send you a signed one, and producer Sean, who normally sits in the back, he could sign you a photograph as well, and we'll send them to you in the post shift. It'll be fine. You can treasure them forever, stick them in your frame, put them in your driving room, and stare at us with admiration every Thursday. Oh dear, Seb, what an absolute cracking race. Okay, so normally we have a challenge for Mr. Chris Rowlands, whether or not he can sum it up in one word. Can you sum up one word for tonight's racing?
Carnage.
There you go. Just about sums it up. Well done there from everybody here at TSS, guys. So what have we got coming up this week? As we say, we got the Jeans Bowl F3 on Tuesday, live at 9:05, I believe, on a Tuesday evening. And then we're back. A side photo of the team worth not winning. Hey, Mr. Simnar, play nice. And then on Thursday, guys, don't forget as well, we are back for more ESS race. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Live at, again, about 9:05. If you're wondering why it's 9:05, we do have to find the sessions and load in. Guys, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button as much as possible. Turn on them bells for all the notifications. Chris Rowlands, you were not absent. I said you would send him a signed photo. Behave yourself. Turn on them bells for notification, guys. All links is down in the description below. So our Twitter, my Twitter, Total Sim Sports Twitter, YouTube, Discord. If you want to join, they're all down in the description below, guys, as well. So much love to you all, but definitely turn on them bells for notifications. Be the first to know when Total Sim Sport goes live every single Tuesday and Thursday. So there you go. So really, guys, that brings us to the end of this show. You spam me, so I already got several certificates framed on the wall. 3rd Division Championships in ESS. Well done to you, sir. A nice photo of me, Sean, Chris. You know, how we get Seb to send you one as well. Put them next to each other. Absolutely amazing. So guys, really what's all that's left for me to say this evening is from me, Seb, and producer Sean. Take care. Have a great week. And you never